On Christmas morning, Dad hugged me, then announced he used my college fund to buy my sister a salon. "It's her turn," he said while Mom laughed. "You were never really business material anyway." I stayed quiet until he opened the small box I gave him. His hands started trembling. You did what with my college fund?" I wasn't yelling for effect, and it just came out of me, sharp, splintered. Dad barely flinched. He was still holding the mug I'd given him, steam curling from it like nothing was wrong. "Don't make this ugly, Eli," he said. "It's done. You weren't using it anyway. I was planning to go back." "It's Lena's turn." That was all he said, like fairness worked on a rotation, like it was her right, not my loss. "She's opening a salon," he continued almost proudly. "Real business, real future, something with stability." And what the hell was I trying to build then? Mom set her champagne flute down and leaned back on the sofa, smirking. You were always more of a daydreamer. We didn't want to say it back then, but business school? Eli, that was never you. That laugh, that tight glass-breaking laugh. They'd been waiting for this moment. To say what they really thought. To finish the sentence they'd been editing for years. Across the room, Lena was admiring a new necklace, pretending she hadn't heard a thing. Who I am. I'm Daus. Eli, 23 years old, or I guess I was, before today. I dropped out of school at 20 after Dad tore his ACL and needed help around the shop. Someone had to run the register. Someone had to carry his weight until he healed. That someone was me. I always said I'd go back. But you lose time. You lose momentum. Then suddenly you're standing in your childhood living room, watching your sister get a fully funded dream, while your dream was sold without a conversation, and it hits you. They never saw you as the investment. The family. Dad, Mark, 54. Tired hands, sharper tongue. He taught me everything about work and nothing about worth. Mom, Diane, 50. She says she's practical, but she's just cold with a smile. Her approval was always air, visible but untouchable. Lena, 25. Perfect daughter. Gets the salon, the praise, the benefit of every doubt. My older sister, but I was always the afterthought. "I found out from Lena," I said, voice calmer now, colder. "Not from you, not from a family meeting, from her." She let it slip. Lena finally looked up. "I didn't mean to." "No, you meant to. You just didn't care how it would feel." Dad stood, straightening his back like he was still in control of the room. "We raised you better than to throw tantrums over money. You used my tuition money to buy her a vanity business." "It's an investment," Lena said sharply. I looked at her, my voice steady. "Then I hope it yields interest, because what it cost me was my future. The thing is, I wasn't even angry anymore. I was something worse. Empty. 3 years I gave to that family store, woke up before dawn, closed it alone, skipped holidays, covered Dad's accounts. I never asked for much, just the promise that one day I could return to my path. But that was the lie. They didn't forget about me. They chose her instead. It was winter of 2021. Dad couldn't walk. Bills were piling up. Mom was talking about selling the house. I took a job I hated and dropped out mid-semester. I didn't cry, didn't make them feel bad, just told them I'd pause school. I remember Mom saying, "That's what real men do. Sacrifice." But when Lena came home 6 months later, asking for money to start her lash brand, Dad said yes before she even finished her sentence. No sacrifice asked of her, just support. Dad sat back down, finally opening the small black box I handed him 10 minutes earlier. He hadn't cared to look at it during the chaos. Inside, a simple USB drive, labeled, "For your legacy." His fingers hesitated. "What the hell is this?" "Play it," The files were all there, recordings, emails, bank statements, proof that Lena had been dipping into Dad's business account for almost a year, over $18,000 moved. Business expenses, nails, vacations, a Cancun trip she claimed was a training retreat. I told her to pay it back. Mom whispered, horrified now. You knew? Dad asked, his voice hoarse. We didn't think you'd... You let me think I was going crazy about the money, he said. You let me blame Eli. His hands started shaking. I didn't smile, not even a little. You all finally hear me now? I said, standing. Or do you need another file? Lena was crying, mascara streaked. You went through my stuff? No, I saved your ass, because if the IRS finds that mix of business and personal, Dad's not the only one going down. Dad just sat there, broken open. Mom tried to speak. Stopped. Her words evaporated. I looked at them one by one, calm, controlled. I spent 3 years being the glue. You called it weakness. Turns out I'm the only one who ever gave a damn about this family's future. I didn't yell. They'd never have heard me if I did. But now, they were listening. I left the box, the receipts, the drive, everything, told them they could do whatever they wanted with it. As I walked out, Dad called after me. Eli, wait. I stopped in the doorway. He looked older. I didn't know, he said. I thought I was doing right by both of you. I nodded once. You weren't. And then I walked, not out of anger, out of freedom. Weeks passed. Lena sent a short text. Paying it back. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't respond. Not yet. Mom hasn't called, but Dad did. Once, he asked what classes I was taking. He offered to help. Not with money. That's long gone, but with space, with respect, with listening. I'm back in school now. Part-time, working nights, it's slow. But it's mine. I won't lie. I still carry the weight of what they did, but I'm not carrying them anymore. And that's something close to peace.